Welcome to Watch Talk Fun. My name is Ben.
I'm Joseph.
This is the Friday Magic Show, and what we are doing today is kind of giving an introduction to who we are as Magic players. We thought this would be really fun to just get you folks
Acclimated with us. Yeah, no, you are bad.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna. No. You're not stopping.
One take.
Oh, we are one fucking taking this.
One fucking take.
Yeah. So
It happens.
we want to get you to know us, so you can laugh directly at our choices.
Yes.
That's really the most important thing. Is we want the internet to tell us how bad of a person we are, especially in terms of Magic.
I really want, you know me, and they're gonna get to know me. I love competitive Magic. I really have for a long time. I love watching the Vintage Super League and the Modern Gauntlet, and I love watching GPs and the Pro Tour, even if it's standard. I love watching the Pro Tour. Just because of the high level of play, that does not mean I'm not a filthy casual. My entire list is filthy casuals. So what we're getting at today is our top 10 pet cards, kind of things that define us as players, things that we force into decks.
Like, you know that one player who's at your game group or at Friday Night Magic who is playing, maybe a real deck, and then they play something like Fog. Like, they straight up play Fog.
Does Darkness in my Ad Nauseam deck count as Fog?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's like a real...
That's like a real modern card, though.
No, it isn't. It's straight trash.
It works.
But it's more akin to someone like that person who brings Eldrazi deck to Friday Night Magic, but the Eldrazi deck they bring really isn't an Eldrazi deck. It's just like Deceiver of Form, and they put Pathrazer of Ulamog on the top of their deck, and then everything becomes a Pathrazer of Ulamog. And they pummel your face with it. Like, that's the kind of card.
Yeah. These things, at least for me and from talking with Joe while we were making these lists, like, these are things that have come up in our Magic history, things that, especially for me, when I saw them for the first time, I was like, this is the coolest thing that's ever existed.
Absolutely.
This is my favorite thing. I think at any given time, any of the cards in my top 10 or my honorable mentions has been my favorite card at some point. My two favorites that are still here, my two favorite cards are on this list, and I will force them into EDH decks regardless of if they fit or not.
So my cards are more pinnacle pieces of things that I used to play with. You can really trace my history through it.
Yeah.
And watch, wow, what happened to him? He was good, and then what did he do?
Good is a relative term when we're talking about this.
Relative in terms of garbage.
I think what we wanted to... The other thing that we did was we tried to guess what was on the other person's list. Mm-hmm. So I have a top 10. I have a couple honorable mentions, things that almost made my list. And then we each have another top 10 list of the things we think should be on the other person's list, and maybe a couple honorable mentions of things that almost even made that list. And then at the end of the video, we're going to compare and see who knows more of the other person's pet cards, because we've been playing together since...
Too long.
Way too long.
Yeah.
Way too long at this point. 2004?
2006. No, Time Spiral was my first set, so it was 2007 or 8.
Six. Yes.
Planar Chaos. See, back there, you can actually see the Planar Chaos. Well, you can't, but it's a Planar Chaos, like the starter decks.
The starter decks and the booster
I still
packs.
have my original one. It's beat to shit, but I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going to go through. Let's start off with the honorable mentions.
Honorable mention. So I knew one thing that was on your list, and you mentioned it to me. Mm-hmm. So I took it off, really, of both my lists. Mm-hmm. There's an honorable mention here for Dawn Charm. It's on his list, but I knew it was going to be on there. He said it to me, so it's not fair. So my 5 honorable mentions of things that might be on Joe's list. A sweet common. Nip Gwillian. It's a 1/1 lifelink.
Black or white.
Black or white hybrid mana.
Okay.
I have lost so many casual games to that with an Edge of Divinity on it, it's not even funny.
It's such a value.
So I picked this one. This one was so close to making this was the last cut. This was a stand-in for many different effects of the same choice, but rampant growth.
Yeah.
The boy loves to ramp.
Oh, the
more
ramp
than
up.
anything.
Dude.
Doubling season.
Ooh.
That was also a close cut.
Yeah.
Gaia's Blessing.
You know what?
The thing that stops me and Ethan from decking you.
You know what? Now that I'm looking back on that might have actually should have gone on the list.
It's so close. You used to force that into every deck that it could. Just even things that it didn't belong in.
Oh, absolutely.
Specifically to stop Zadek, Lord of Secrets, from eating your deck.
Okay, so if for anyone who doesn't know what this card is, and if it shows up here, by the way, we're going to be putting cards here.
Yeah.
As we mentioned them.
Just so you can see, because we don't want to leave anybody out.
Also because you don't know cards and you're bad. But
what, me? Yeah.
No. I'm talking to the audience. All of the
I
people
love the audience. Why are you being mean to them?
I don't have love.
He'll learn to love you. I already love you.
So anyway, Gaia's Blessing is a 1 and a green. I think it's an instant.
Yes.
It is. So the card in and of itself is It was time shifted. I don't know what it was. It was originally Mirage.
Weatherlight.
Okay.
Weatherlight.
It was
book.
old. It was. I thought it was the.
No, originally printed. It's beautiful art.
Oh, absolutely
Beautiful. I think it's Rebecca Gay.
I would say either that or Therese.
Yeah. I can't. I'm trying to fit. It'll be right here. It's beautiful art.
So the card itself is pretty. It does. Target player shuffles 3 cards from his or her graveyard into his or her library.
Yeah.
Not very good.
No.
Except for the second part, which is if this card would be milled. So went from your library to your graveyard, take your entire graveyard and shuffle it into your library. And you'd think you're like, why the hell would this kid put that card in decks that don't run green? And let me tell you something. When all of your 4 friends who play Magic with you regularly use milling decks, you want that card in your deck.
It was the only way you ended up winning a lot of those games where especially Ethan was ripping Glimpse the Unthinkable off the top of his deck and just eating you.
Yes, it was very annoying.
But I have one more, and this is really going to take you back.
Okay.
I think there's other cards that represent in this deck of yours, but I didn't think you would either remember the story around this or that you would end up with it on your list, and that's the sweet uncommon, only printed once in the Portal expansion, Wall of Granite.
Okay. So
this is from one deck.
But I had was it? Or you used Wall of Stone?
No. You had Wall of Granite,
and it's
a 0/7.
Yeah, you had Wall of Stone, though. That's what I'm saying.
But Wall of Stone is a 0/8. I specifically got Wall of Stones because he was so excited about his 0/7 wall, and I was like, well, now I have a 0/8 wall. What you gonna do?
Yeah. Well. Okay. So yeah, it's a 0/7 wall for 2 and a red.
Yeah. It's vanilla. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's just
absolutely terrible.
Like,
but I can't tell you.
Fuck your goblin.
I can't tell you how many times I was sitting across the table from that ugly black bordered, bold flavor texted monstrosity of a Magic card.
Even the art's bad.
No, it's one of the least aesthetically. Look at it. Look at it right now. It's one of the least aesthetically pleasing Magic cards I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many nights on your porch I was just... I had an army of goblins, and I'm staring at a 0/7 that I can't get through because all I've got is lightning bolts and 1/1s.
Yeah.
I couldn't get through. So, I hope that gives you an inkling of what I'm going to guess is on the rest of his list.
So, honorable mentions for this guy over here. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben.
We're already out the gate with a severely playable card. I do love Thalia. She is not on the list.
I didn't think she would be.
That's
That's why she's an honorable mention.
She was on the short list, though.
Dude.
I love Thalia, Guardian of Thraben.
Okay. Second one is Dirtwater Wraith. It is a Swamp Walk. 3/4?
3/4 for 4. It's from Mirage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
When we first started, that was like the
it
first
has
creature
Swamp
we ever
Walk,
played.
and it has the shade ability so it can pump itself for a black.
Oh, right.
That's why it's a problem.
Yeah.
Because I had this super casual black deck that I would turn your lands into swamps with, like, at the end when it started to get competitive it would be an Urborg, but originally it would be Night Creep, which was black, instant speed, turn everything on the field black, turn all the lands into swamps, then I would pump up the Dirt Wraith and beat you to death with it.
Yes, clearly. Coercion, which was also in the same deck.
Yo,
is
Magic Starter 1999. What the fuck is up?
Straight up discard.
It's Thoughtseize before Thoughtseize was the thing.
Yeah, but bad. Teneb the Harvester, one of the
classic,
one of the Planar Chaos Dragons. This guy,
Abzan Dragon.
Oh, so good. And then Click Slither.
Oh, that was so close. That is not the representative of the Goblin
That's
deck.
why it's an honorable mention and not on the list.
Close.
So
close. You did get one right. I'm not going to tell you which one that you got right.
That's actually on the list?
Yeah, you got one of your honorable mentions is on my team.
I know exactly which one it is. Out of all these things, I know which one it's going to be.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, that's the honorable mentions. And then there was one that I know is on your list.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember the name, obviously. It's the Centaur. It's the one who needs
He's
tapped, right?
No.
No?
No.
Is this the vanilla one?
Oh, no, it's not a vanilla one.
Phantom Centaur?
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there, fam.
Oh, Phantom Centaur. I remember now. I really should have put that. See, when you said it, I was thinking something else. But the one that you're talking about now, I would.
And I have a great story.
Fucking would have put that on my list immediately.
I have a great story about that card.
All right. Let's start with our honorable mentions for our own lists. These are cards, basically slots 15 to 11. We're not going to spend too much time on them.
And no particular order.
These
are like so close to making the top 10, but just no cigar.
Okay, so I'll start this time. We have a Juniper Order Ranger.
Oh, wow. What a throwback.
We have One Punch Bob, also known as Blightsteel Colossus.
Yeah.
We have Black Sun Zenith.
True.
We have Oros the Avenger.
Damn.
And we have a Mimic Vat.
Mimic Vat.
Dude, I went back and forth.
That skipped my whole brain. I can't believe I missed Mimic Vat.
I feel like I was fighting with myself. I was like, I need to put it on.
I wrote down,
but no!
I wrote down 15 things and I missed Mimic Vat. I don't.
Dude, yeah, but you stopped trying because you would have kept going.
Yeah, no, I would not have stopped.
Just as a little background, it was very hard for me to make my list, but easier for me to make. It was very hard to make my list because I couldn't cut enough things. It was hard for me to make his list because I had trouble picking out individual cards.
Yeah.
It was hard for you to make your list because same reason to mine, essentially.
Yeah, we kind of swapped it.
It was hard for me to make my list because there was just too many fucking cards.
Yeah, we had a backwards difficulty with this.
Yes.
But dude, that Mimic Vat, I can't believe I missed Mimic Vat.
Black Sun Zenith on the honorable mentions because
it was there. It was in my list, and I was like, the card's too good.
I throw it in every sideboard that has black in it. I put it in sideboards that usually they have to jump through hoops to make black mana.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
So your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. I'm going to throw you through a loop here.
Okay.
Browbeat. I love Browbeat. Card is straight value.
That's good.
You're gonna take a Lava Axe, or I'm gonna draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
The value. Pongify. The real turn to frog. There is no turn to frog in my world. There is only Pongify. I'm making apes.
It's
Hashtag bring the monkey back.
Harambe, my love.
Jester's Cap.
Yeah, that would have.
That is the only artifact that features in all 15 of my cards.
Really?
Yes. Ovinomancer.
Okay, I was thinking about that, but I was like, nah, it's Ethan.
I think it was the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But I always loved that card, and it was always in all of my casual blue decks. It was like
That
my
and
easiest.
he used Avenize. Like
He used Avenize more than I did. I like the Ovinomancer. And then my last honorable mention is Ayumi, the Last Visitor. It's the thing from Saviors of Kamigawa with Legendary Landwalk
Oh my god.
that I just jammed into everything because I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. It's like a 7/8 for 5 with Legendary Landwalk.
That's pretty strong, just in general.
It's strong, but it's also garbage.
It's a 7/8 for 5, though.
Yeah, but it might be a 7/5. It's something you'll see. You'll see. It's not as good as I'm making it sound, but I love that card. And again, beautiful artwork. Go back to Kamigawa. Beautiful artwork. So why don't we start with your number 10?
All right, my number 10 is a rare.
Okay.
It is from Eventide.
Okay, I think I know where you're going.
And it is 6 forests for a Primal Crux.
That was like 18th on my choices. I was so close to putting that on.
Okay, so let me tell you something about my boy Primal Crux.
This is what I'm talking about with the ramp earlier.
Like,
the boy loves ramp.
So it turned out really. Oh, see what you did? See what you did?
I knocked the cards down.
So here's the thing about Primal Crux, or about me and Magic. When I started trying to play Modern,
didn't go well.
It didn't go well because it turned out the only thing I was really good at was green. Like mono green,
Stompy,
straight green Stompy.
Stompy.
So I
don't think there's anything wrong with Stompy. It's just
there's nothing wrong with it.
It's just not good.
Other than it's not good. The problem for me was that a little thing called having anything other than a basic forest. And so I had these basic forests, so I was like, okay, I'll just ramp the shit out of it, and then I would play Colony Hydra, and then I would play Primal Crux, and then you'd have to deal with a 14/14 for 6.
Hmm?
I loved him, and the reason I put him on here is because I could have put Cudgel Troll, I could have put
that whole mono green
Prime Time. I could have put
that was the closest thing from that deck. Other than the ramp that I put on.
I almost put Genesis Wave on my list.
I thought Genesis Wave and I thought Green Sun Zenith.
Yeah. And, Green Sun Zenith, now it's not legal, so.
It's not legal because the card's too damn good. Too damn good.
But that is my number 10, clocking in with a $6.39 price tag.
Is that the highest on the list?
Yes.
That is the highest on the list. Mm-hmm. It is lower.
My total list is $20.98.
Not bad. Mine's $27.75.
TCG mid. Thank you very
TCG
much. Original Prince.
Obviously.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm not. And I said to you Original Prince for one reason, and I'll get to it later.
Go ahead.
But my number 10 is the only mythic on this entire the entire thing, and it's Wingmate Rock.
Okay.
I love value.
Even misguided value.
What's sweeter than a 3/4 flyer? 2 3/4 flyers.
He's not wrong.
I won my first modern F&M with what could loosely be termed an Abzan deck. It had Siege Rhinos and Thought Seizes and Shockland. It was as close to an Abzan deck as you could get
without
having Liliana of the Veil and Tarmogoyf.
Okay.
So I replaced those really good cards with things like Wingmate Rock. And I beat through a real field of Splinter Twin, Grixis Delver,
okay,
Living End.
Did you face Affinity?
And I think Affinity. And what won me the game was enough removal to get to the point where I could slam 2 3/4 flyers on the board. Because all those decks are missing one thing, and it's Path to Exile. Their main removal was something like Lightning Bolt.
Or Liliana of the Veil.
Or Liliana. And I could usually deal with those things fairly well, but a wingmate rock was something they were not expecting. The face on my friend Jason when I slammed a wingmate rock on him, he looked at me like I had just stomped on a puppy. I was like, I had confused the ever-living crap out of him, and I will always have such a love for that card. And anytime I'm playing Cube or any kind of, even EDH sometimes, but like anything that I can jam a white card into, it's usually going to be a wingmate rock.
My number one card on my list is based off of the feeling of your opponent being like...
Completely confused.
Yes.
I love...
That is my favorite thing.
We both love confusing people.
Because...
You love it more.
Oh,
I
get off on it.
completely missed something on my entire list, and I know exactly what it is.
You know what number one is, don't you?
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, he does.
We'll get there. We'll get
mad,
there.
bro?
So, no, I'm not mad that I missed it. I'm mad... No, I am mad that I missed it.
Yeah, you should be.
I'm mad that I missed it.
Okay. Your number 9?
My number 9...
Wait, what was the price tag?
Oh, the price tag on a wingmate rock is about $1.17.
Oh, fucking yes.
It's about $1.17.
Your number 9, sir?
My number 9 is an uncommon from Shadowmoor.
Go on.
It's a single hybrid mana. It's guttural response.
Okay.
Counter any blue spell.
Fuck blue.
That's the other thing that I was genuinely shocked by. When I came to my top 10, I'm sorry to everybody out there, there are no blue cards in my top 10.
Really?
0. There are 0 blue cards in my top 10.
I had 2 technically blue.
Yeah. There are no blue cards in my top 10, not even the gold card. I think there's one gold card.
There's not even a single blue symbol anywhere.
That's gold, and this is hybrid. No, there's no blue symbols anywhere.
Wow, I'm shocked. Not shocked. I
like blue, but when I'm playing with pet cards, blue was always ultra competitive to me, so I never thought of it as like my pet thing.
Okay.
I always thought of like red cards and green cards and black cards as my pet things, and guttural response was dealing with Griffin and Ethan in the best way I knew how. Because I saw that card and I was like, how do I get a click slither through their counter barrage? I stop their counter barrage in my mono red goblin deck.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite sideboard card, and I will force it into any deck that I feel, any deck or any meta that I feel I'm going to get countered in, because it's the best sideboard card that I think I've ever seen. Because for me, like I said, you can blow up my lands. Mm-hmm. You can exile my graveyard.
You can't take away
you can you can do anything. Countering spells is where I feel the salt. It's where I get mad.
It is this is the fastest way to my hatred gland.
No, it's where you tilt my table.
Uh-huh.
It's where you tilt my table. The worst thing in the world to me. It's the reason I run Bosiju in my Ad Nauseam deck in Modern. Mm-hmm. It's why I run Pact of Negation, because of people that sit there and do nothing but counter. There's a guy that plays Blue Tron at the store that we go to sometimes. Nice guy, but fuck him. I hate playing against him so goddamn much, because it's just every other word out of his mouth is condescend. It's just
really?
condescend. Yeah, it has to be condescend, because he has all the Tron lands out, and he's like, counter it unless you pay 42. I'm like, I want you to die.
Wow.
I want
Hopefully
you to die.
Hopefully he doesn't see this.
Yeah, if he does.
All right.
If he does, come at me, bro.
My number 9, clocking in at $4.62 TCG mid.
Ooh.
Is a rare.
Okay.
From Cold Snap.
Rare from Cold Snap.
For 3 mana, 8 power, and 8 toughness, we have Phyrexian Soulgorger.
Wow.
With a cumulative upkeep of sacrifice a creature.
Wow.
So I know recently it actually got a chance to be good with the Solemnity.
Solemnity.
I'm an English major. I'm an idiot.
I don't know math, so
That's true.
I don't know. You have a better job than me, so we see where it goes.
Yes. So so it got a chance to be good.
Still pretty bad.
It's so bad. But you challenged me. We were literally okay. So he had a copy of he had one copy of this goddamn card. Okay, and he challenged me. If you can make a goddamn deck with this, I will give it to you. And what did I do? I put in a Bitter Blossom, and I put in literally every token-making card I owned into a deck, a black-white deck, with this one card, and used it. And I beat him, and I won it. Yeah. And I was so proud of myself. And then it went in my binder forever, and then later on, I finally found a use for it with Renegade Doppelganger,
Aether Vial,
and Eldrazi Mimic.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, I had a deck that could swing with the 2/8/8s on turn 3. And it was one of my favorite combos. It's still a bad card.
Yeah, it's a bad card, but it's also one of those things that I just love. When I go to a card store, I'm competitive, but if someone sits across from me with something that they put a lot of effort into making good, I'm so much happier. Like, no, it's good. No. They put in a lot of work.
Something that's not trash.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, because it could not be good, but it could be fun.
Some dude showed up one night and ended up in the top 4 with me in Modern with an aggressive Bant deck where the win condition was a Dungrove Elder. And I was like, I love that, because he just made a bunch of net decking punks look like net decking punks.
Yeah.
That don't know what they're playing with, because he just came in and smashed them.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. So we'll move on.
Number 8 is an uncommon.
Damn right it is.
With a whopping 19-cent price tag.
That's how it's done. That's how we make money around here.
It's white.
Of course it is.
Which is also how you make money around here.
Yeah.
Do you have a guess?
I don't know what set it's from.
Enchantment.
18-cent price tag. I'm pretty sure it's in my guess list.
19 cents, sir.
Pretty sure it's in my guess list.
As
Dega Sanctuary?
Dega Sanctuary! Let me tell you something about Dega Sanctuary. So, back when we didn't understand how Magic worked and we thought that lands were colored, I was always really confused why Dega Sanctuary was a card. Because it's like, play 3 colors, it's going to give me 4 life a turn.
Yeah, obviously.
Life is really valuable.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think every player goes through a phase where life gain is how they win.
Mm-hmm. Or not lose.
Yeah, or not lose. And the more competitive you get, it's just you can't gain life quick enough.
Unless you're playing Soul Sisters.
Yeah, but even then...
Soul Sister Aristocrats? You seen that shit?
It's real! It's real!
Norrin Sisters?
I know. It's real. Norrin the Wary. Playable. Who would have thought?
I did.
Yeah, I know, because you're an idiot.
I called that.
Yeah.
I called that in Planar Chaos. I was like, you could use this with Soul Sisters. Or you could use this with Soul Warden.
Soul Warden?
Or Essence Warden at the time.
Essence Warden. That was the G right there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the G.
Plane shifted.
Shifted.
Color shifted.
So yeah, you had an entire deck, a 3-color enchantment deck, built around Dega Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
And it was the pillow-fortiest pillow fort that I think has ever been constructed. It was so difficult to get through.
Yeah, and there was a time where it was basically the only deck, because it was my first deck.
Your first, real, you put it together, brewed it up, thought it.
Well, I didn't brew it up, but it was my first piece together piece of shit. No, what I mean by that is, it's when we were buying cards and that's all we had access to. Is the Magic card packs that we bought.
Yeah, stuff we bought, or, random cards that we had saved from, our cousins or other older people giving them to us.
Exactly.
A lot of my older stuff. Yeah, a lot of my older stuff, Urza's Saga, revised stuff, all came from my cousin. every last bit of it. And then I started. My number 8 is like oddly enough, it's like a perfect segue. It's a perfect segue, and it's Phantom Centaur. We mentioned it earlier. Phantom Centaur is 2 green.
3 green.
3 green. You're right.
No, it might be a 4 drop.
It's a 4 or 5 drop.
Because it's a 5/4.
Yeah, it's a 5/4 when you drop it. It's a 2/0. It's a 2/0, and it gets 3 +1/+1 counters when it comes in.
So it's a 5/3.
Yeah, 5/3.
Yeah,
5/3. And whenever you would deal damage to it, you remove a counter instead.
You remove a counter from it and then prevent all damage that would be dealt to it.
Yeah.
Very clearly, you remove a counter, then prevent all damage that would be dealt to this creature. Not an if.
Which means if you put a boost enchantment on it,
it never dies.
It's essentially indestructible.
By damage.
By damage. And this was the first deck that I really put together. It was right after Judgment came out, and it was a pre-constructed deck. It was the Phantom pre-constructed deck, Phantom Nomad, Phantom Centaur, Phantom Tiger, and the rare that I remember was Phantom Nantuko. But I was in love with Phantom Centaur because it has protection from black.
And it's good.
So it was so resilient, because we were kids.
We
were like really little kids, so like the only thing we thought was like, I'm gonna kill it with a Dark Banishing! And you couldn't kill my Phantom Centaur with the Dark Banishing.
To be fair, Phantom Centaur...
No, it's a great card.
...is resilient even now. Like
no, the card's just damn good.
Until White get good son at...
Yeah, no, you need...
Like,
old school, you would need something like a Swords. You would need a Swords to Plowshares to deal with something like that.
Absolutely, you couldn't...
Or, let's say, 3 Lightning Bolts.
No.
Well, no, I'm saying without an enchantment.
But that's what I'm saying. If you would enchant it with something...
Yeah, no, the card is amazing. So, like, my idea... I played with it, like, out of the box for a while, and then I turned it into a mono green deck. That was Phantom Centaur, Phantom Nantuko, and Phantom Tiger with the Spike cards. Yes. Spike Drone, Spike Feeder, Spike Weaver, and it was a +1/+1 counter deck. It was, I'm going to get through with these Phantoms eventually, but while I'm waiting, I'm just going to keep adding counters to them. You can't get rid of them, and I'm going to kill my own stuff to save my Phantoms. And I loved that deck so goddamn much.
He made that noise every time.
Oh, constantly. I still make that noise. That's a good one. Alright, number 7. Number 7. This is a time-shifted card. It's also... There are 2 cards from this set on my list that are the oldest. They're from Urza's Destiny. They're the oldest cards on my list. This is a time-shifted card from Urza's Destiny. It's an uncommon.
Color?
For 3 and a red. It's a 2/2 with haste with a Stone Rain stapled to it. Avalanche Riders.
Oh my god. The Pro Tour, the Invitational.
Yeah, Darwin Castle's Invitational card. I love that card so much. I jammed it into Goblin decks. I jammed it into Burn decks.
I've never seen you play that card.
You're insane.
I am insane, but I've also never seen you play that card.
I jam it into Living End now. Is it the best in Living End? No. But does it work? Absolutely.
Because it's Living End.
Yeah.
And everything works in Living End.
Yeah, no. I love that card so much. I've jammed it into so many decks that I just, like... And my favorite, like, shout out to Channel Fireball. My man Mashi Scanlon, who still hosts shows on that channel. It's one of his favorite cards. And, like, when I used to watch him and Luis Scott Value do countdowns on their channel, Mashi would always be mad at Luis because Luis would never let him put Avalanche Riders on any of their lists.
That's bullshit.
And so when I met Mashi for the first time in Pittsburgh, at GP Pittsburgh, oh god, was it 2 years ago already?
Yeah.
I had him sign one of my copies of Avalanche Riders, And it's one of my prizes. It was the copy that I kept in my cube when I was still maintaining a cube. I love that card. And no matter if it's good or not, I'm going to put it in the deck.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, number 7.
My number 7
Tell me about it.
is rare.
Okay.
$3.51.
Okay. Seems playable.
From M15.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. It's up there, actually. Waste not the desu. So, waste not. Let me tell you something.
Nailed it on this one. This one's on my thing.
Yes. If you didn't put this on there, I'd be like, who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, you're not on.
Waste not is... Okay, so when I started learning to play, try to not be bad at Modern, I was trying blue-green. I was trying literally every combination of creature deck I could.
Yeah. He did.
And then I realized that I'm not good at Magic. I'm not good at Well, let me put it. No.
That's mean.
I'm not good at Magic when I try to play the way I want to play.
Sure.
And my colors that I most closely identify with are white, blue. I do identify with black. It's really black, blue, green now. But
Sultai.
I mean, I'm a Sultai, but whenever I play Modern...
Where I'm on Jund all day, every day, Jund 'em out.
So, but here's the thing for me. When I play Modern, or try to be competitive, I always end up in white, blue, and green.
Yeah.
I end up in ban.
That's true.
So I figured, well, if I'm bad at Magic when I play the colors I want to play...
Why don't we try something?
And I'm being interactive.
Try the opposite.
Well, if I'm being interactive with blue, black, and green, or blue, green, and white, well then clearly I just need to play with myself and play black, red.
Yeah.
So I started playing Waste Not Storm, and what do you know? I actually got better. So...
You got better, but you also love that deck.
Oh, I'm so wet for that deck. I've removed Storm from it. Is one of my favorite decks. And this actually was competing with Liliana's Caress with this slot. I was thinking about putting Liliana's Caress on here, but I was like, you know what? I only need one card from that deck. And it has to be the namesake.
Yeah, I think the namesake makes more sense, although I will give Liliana's Caress a nod as like a pet.
Because I was like,
I would have been more inclined to say it was a pet card if you would put Megrim.
I wouldn't say Megrim.
No, well, pronounce it right, it's Megrim. But...
I've never used the card.
Yeah, because it's trash.
Mm-hmm. Liliana's Caress, the reason it was competing so heavily was because my favorite thing to do in Magic now is to turn 2 Liliana's Caress.
And then kill someone.
Turn 3 Collective Brutality, or Collective Defiance, and force them to discard 6 cards from their hand and take 12.
Yeah.
And then follow it up the next turn with a Burning Inquiry.
It's really, it's painfully decent.
Yeah, but it's not consistent.
No, when it lines up, it's almost, you can't deal with it.
You can't.
There's not many decks I know that can deal with that.
Yeah. So that is my number 7.
Alright, well, tell me about 6, boy.
My number 6, though, it is a sweet, sweet rare.
No, I love rares.
With a 62-cent price tag.
Love it. It's already amazing.
Starts with a T.
Ah, I think I got this one. Is it 3-colored?
It is 3-colored, Ben.
Is it Naya?
It might be Naya.
It might be Tamanoa.
It is Tamanoa.
That's the second Cold Snap card on your list. Is it the last? I won't be shocked if it's not.
It is the last.
Okay.
But it is not.
Cold Snap's a weird.
It is not the only. Remember, Juniper Order Ranger was in my.
It's
was
a
in my
mention.
short list.
I remember when we were like learning to play. We went to that place near my parents' house called Carl's Cards, and he had
Cold Snap out.
Cold Snap out his ass. Saviors of Kamigawa.
Unglued.
Unhinged.
He had the brown one. Yeah, unhinged. Yeah.
He had the weirdest selection. It's a sports card store.
Yeah, and no one went there for cards.
So we would go out there and clean him out, and he would just replace it with the weirdest
Scourge.
Yeah, he had packs of Scourge, like, all the way into, like...
I pulled a Dragon Tyrant.
Alara block. Like, it was so weird. And now he stopped selling them, and so we don't go
Really?
back. No, he stopped selling Magic entirely.
Last time I went by, he had Pokemon cards in there.
He has Pokemon cards. He does not have Magic cards. It's sad. It's sad. I might go smack Carl later. Not really, but yeah, I love you.
So Tamanoa. So let me tell you the story of this card. This is a
Nonsense.
2/4, as you can see, for 3. And so, actually, Griffin, the other person on our podcast, he was... I was talking to him one day and I said, you know what would be really, really amazing? He's like, what? I told him, I really wish I could give Pyrohemia, which is a 4-drop enchantment, which has activated ability. It's 2 and a red.
Pestilence.
It's red pestilence. It's 2 red, and you can. It's an enchantment. Pay 1 red, deal 1 damage to everything.
Creatures and players, and if there's no creatures on the battlefield, it goes away
At the end of the turn.
Yeah, it's
I was
red.
like, I really
it's plain shifted pestilence.
It is. Yeah. But my point in saying it is, I really wish I could give this lifelink. And the next day, completely separately, I was like, what is Cold Snap? And I was looking through the Cold Snap cards.
And
I was like, holy shit, I can give it lifelink.
Yeah.
And then
you built a deck entirely based around hurting everything on the battlefield, creatures, your creatures, their creatures,
everyone.
And all the players, because we used to play a lot of like multi-man games like Emperor and Pentagram and like just like free-for-alls.
Assassin.
So it was a
played
mess.
Assassin in forever.
It was just a mess where he would tap a mountain and deal something like 25, 26 damage based on what was on the board and just gain unholy amounts of life and like kill us. If he didn't kill us with Tamanoa, like if we ended up dealing with it, he would just kill us with Searing Meditation.
Yeah. The fun thing about it for me was, like, looking back on it now, my first experience with Painlands was with that deck.
Yeah, the Battlefield Forge.
No, not Battlefield Forge. I used Carplusian
Forest.
And I think that was pretty much the only one I used, but I had other lands that
hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I did with it.
Yeah.
I used them, and I used Mana Barbs.
I think it was one of the...
Mana Barbs.
Yeah, no, I think it was one of our first experiences, like you on a specific level and me as an opponent, learning, organically, which is something that's lost in the Magic community today. Welcome to the internet. It's lost.
Yeah,
learning organically that your life total is a resource.
Yeah.
Not being told by anybody, just accidentally figuring out that, like, it doesn't matter how much I hurt myself as long as I have 1 life. Like, that's how I figured out Thoughtseize was good. Because somebody kept using them on me, and I was like, that card sucks, it's hurting you. Like, no, this card is amazing. Yeah. And the same thing with all these things that you were like, I'm dealing myself 15 damage, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill you, and you're like, no, you're not. Like, it made no sense to me at the time.
I remember when Griffin used the phrase, "My life total is a like I had never pieced together. Like even with Tamanoa, I never really that never really clicked for me.
Mm-hmm.
But when Griffin said he has a blue deck that he plays, he doesn't play much anymore. But it was literally he needs to get to 5 lands before you bring him to 0. If he's at 1, you have lost by turn 5. And he said, I use my life total as a resource. I was like, oh, that's a thing you can do, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was one of those, like, game moments where, like, that's part of why I love Magic, because it's so open-ended. And if you really learn this game organically, like, sit down at a table with a pile of cards and another person and just look at it.
Over and over
and figure out how it works. I think you have a much better experience than having some neckbeard teach you on the internet how to play this game. Yeah, I need to shave. I need to shave really badly.
But yeah, I agree. And it's something that I cherish from our childhood was the fact that we learned to play Magic because we just got packs of cards and then we built decks and we had a very closed environment where we were constantly playing each other.
Yeah, and we walked into Borders when Borders was still a thing, and we bought Planar Chaos themed decks and booster packs, and like we walked into there used to be.
I didn't actually know what you were talking about until I realized you said Borders. The shop. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about Borders? I'm like, the shop.
And we used to go the little hardware store that used to be down the street from they used to sell cards. Like we would just get packs and use what we had, and it's so much better
I miss it.
It's so much better. Like, if you really want to be a filthy casual, you're already on the internet, so you're no longer a filthy casual.
No, you might be.
You can be, but
if you're EDH nut.
Yeah, I think that's the last.
Possible.
I think that's the last vestige of the true
bastion.
filthy casual.
Oh man, I miss
that and Canadian Highlander, but
God, that is a whole and Pauper.
Yeah, I think Pauper's like the real last frontier of like trying to enjoy this
Not
game.
Frontier
as it is.
though.
No, Frontier is garbage. But speaking of life total as a resource,
Yes, please continue.
number 6. This was originally the entire cycle. I used all 5 at some point. I used this one the most,
Okay.
but I've used every one of them. It's a cycle of instants. They all have giant mana costs, for instance. They're rares from 5th Dawn. Beacon of Immortality.
Yes.
I killed him
I
with
remember
a
this.
Suntail Hawk. Suntail Hawk. Anyone who gets that reference has a problem with this game. You remember that piece of crap PC game?
Yes,
Suntail Hawk. Like, trash. I killed him with a Suntail Hawk that had over 1 million power and toughness.
It was a 1,000,001, 1,000,001 Suntail Hawk, which had
the Imperial Armor, the thing that was doubling my life total.
No, it had something on it that was giving it counters. It was either that thing that you pay when you get life, or it gets.
It was a filthy casual mono white life gain deck, and it ran Suntail Hawk and Stormherd as win conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And I only had 1 copy of Stormherd, but I had 4 Suntail Hawks. So
that was the scary
Suntail Hawk was the win condition for this deck. And Beacon was the glue that made that deck work.
Mm-hmm.
Work. I loved casting it. And again, it was that experience of looking at that card and seeing the words double your life total. What? That's amazing.
Sorry, I just
You what?
remembered a card.
You what, mate?
I just remembered a card that I'm so fucking ashamed I didn't put it on the list of guesses for you.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Like, it just clicked in my head. I'm like, why isn't this? I am so mad at myself.
Yeah. No, I had that earlier because now I remember I know you're number 1.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really mad it's not on here. But we'll move on. My number 5. My favorite piece of art in all of Magic the Gathering. I have a print of it on the wall of my house.
I know what it is, and I'm really mad I didn't put it on my list.
It's Avatar of Woe.
Yes, it is.
RK Post. Love you, buddy. I met you in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yes, we did.
Amazing dude. Really nice. This piece of art is my favorite in the game. It's dark. It's gothic. It's every angsty thing that teenage me loved, and I still love. But I remember when I saw it, here's a blast from the past. You know who showed me that card? Paul Finkel. Paul Finkel showed me that card.
I forgot he even played Magic.
Yeah, he had a deck that was based around Avatar of Woe and childhood horror. I don't know if anybody else knows that.
What the fuck card is that?
Exactly, it's terrible. It's an Odyssey card. It's got Threshold. It gets like +2/+2 when it gets Threshold. It's trash. Like, it's trash on a level that it wouldn't be played in a backdraft cube. It's ass cheeks. But Avatar of Woe, I saw it and I was like, you mean I can tap that and blow up anything I want? I can blow up that 9/9. I can blow up that 1/1. I can blow up that 3/3. And another one. And another one. And another one. I was in love with it. And for me, Magic cards always come down to
That wow factor.
the wow factor. And especially aesthetically.
Mm-hmm.
The wow factor. And I'm sorry to the new card frame. The newest card frame. I've gotten used to it and I've seen beautiful things. But something like Avatar of Woe does not belong in that frame.
That one, I will admit, that one does look weird in the frame.
It does. but it looks
It's that in
so
like Decree
beautiful.
of Annihilation or Decree of the Decrees cycle.
Yeah, the decrees don't look right.
They don't.
Things that were originally printed in the old frame, some of them translate, some of them just do not. This is one that does not.
I mean, I don't know if any of the decrees were reprinted in the new frame, but I don't
Decree of Pain is. I have one.
Is that the
It's a Commander product.
black one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the one I've seen in the new frame. I'm like,
It doesn't work. They printed it with new art this year in Commander, and
Really?
it looks beautiful.
I haven't seen it.
It's got like this really. It's almost like Killing Wave. It's got like that pink hue to it.
Killing Wave.
It's beautiful. Like the new art looks beautiful, but I would never want to get rid of this. And I love Avatar of Woe. And I jam it into every EDH deck, anything that has black in it. And of course, I have a signed copy to go along with my signed print. It's my second favorite Magic card, but it's my favorite piece of art.
That's fair. My number time? Number 5 now?
Number time?
Number time?
Number time.
Number time. It is blue.
Shock, I have none of those on my
It
list.
is the only blue card
Yeah,
on my list.
I figure.
So the question for you is,
What blue card got through the sea of white and green?
and mono green stompy and red weird shit?
Yeah, what could have gotten through?
There's only one answer to this question.
Of course there's only
I
one
made an
answer.
entire deck around it.
Oh, me. The Renegade Doppelganger?
No, he Soul Gorger took his spot.
Soul Gorger took his spot. What set?
It is a creature.
What set is it from?
It is from one of the core sets.
Originally printed in a core set.
Mm-hmm. I think M10.
The Gin of Wishes.
Generations. All right, so
Good God! What a piece of trash! I can't tell you how many decks he shoved this fucking card into.
actually, it's more like how many iterations of the same deck.
No, it's the same deck, but like anytime you've built an EDH deck that has any blue in it,
Oh, it has Gin of Wishes in it.
it has Gin of Wishes in it every time.
It's like the mana cost might all be 0, but Gin of Wishes is going to be fucking in that deck. I tell you that because there is nothing more fun to me than saying Gin of Wishes and playing a Gin of Wishes and then playing a Brainstorm. No, this is filthy casual, no formatting here. Playing Brainstorm and putting an Emrakul on top, or putting One Punch Bob, aka Blightsteel Colossus, on top.
Those things are legit competitive moves. It's just that normally
You don't wait till 5.
No, they're brainstorming their Emrakul and their Dark Blightsteel Colossus to the top to avoid a Thoughtseize or a what's the thing? Cabal Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it to avoid them going away. You're doing it to put a Gin of Wishes. Oh my god.
So, and the reason I love this card so much,
I missed this. I don't know how I missed this one.
it was an entire deck for me. Because
Yeah.
I found out that, if I only put one Eldrazi in my deck, and I only put one Golem or Constructor...
You used Riptide Shapeshifter.
I used Riptide Shapeshifter to rip them out of the deck. Or Mass Polymorph. There was a time...
Polymorph, good lord.
There was a time when my entire deck was living weapon tokens, living weapon creatures,
Yep.
artifacts, and one Eldrazi, and I would play
But Joe,
Mass Polymorph.
was there a Batterskull?
No.
No, because there was no good living weapons in the deck.
No. Oh, absolutely not. I actually went so far as to almost put in the winged kite thing. The 2/2 for like
Come
6.
on.
Because it's a creature
I get that
I
it's
can
a creature.
play and
Oh,
polymorph.
God, it was so trash.
It was so bad.
It was so trash.
I loved that deck so much.
Yeah. All right, what's 4?
Okay, now we're getting
We're getting into the real shit.
we're getting to the real. I mean, that was the start of the real shit.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a common
Oh, we're definitely getting into the meat here, folks.
green common.
Oh, 100%. Is it Viridian Emissary? Because that was the
No.
That was a ramp. That was a ramp bomb for you.
Okay, the reason I love Viridian Emissary was because it made me do the one thing I never did with my creatures, and that was attack with them because I was okay with getting a land out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? That actually
it's
won me a lot of games.
I know. Wait, green common.
It is an elf.
It is an elf. I believe it could be on my guest list. Is it Well-Wisher?
Yes, it is.
It's damn right it's Well-Wisher.
Well-Wisher. My love.
I was off by one spot.
Really?
Wait, what number are we in?
3, 4.
4. I was off by 1 spot.
Where'd you have it?
I had it at 5.
Huh.
I had it at 5 for him. Nailed it.
Well-wisher. My first deck...
I never should have given you those.
No, you shouldn't have. No. So here's the thing. I don't remember. I think the elf deck was first, and then my red-white deck, the one I bought at the store.
Yeah.
So the first deck I ever owned was an elf deck.
That I gave you 90% of the pieces for.
You gave me all of the pieces.
I gave you all the pieces. It was all of my Onslaught elves.
And you had Onslaught goblins.
Yeah, because I liked goblins. I've always been much more of a red aligned player, so I was like, what? Psh, I'll have you beat by turn 4. What the hell do I care if you have 40 elves?
Well-wisher.
Oh my god, I never should.
Well-wisher, Wirewood Hive Master, Essence Warden was an elf.
Yeah.
Eventually Draga Warcaller, Heritage Druid, Heedless One.
Yeah.
Heedless One was on my short list, but I was like, no, it's gotta be Well-wisher.
That tramply son of a bitch. Imperious.
Elvish Promenade.
Promenade. Shout out to you, Tom. Imperious Perfect. What's
Immaculate
that?
Magistrate.
Immaculate Magistrate. You never really ran Elvish Champion.
No, I didn't, but you know what I did run?
Archdruid?
No. Oh, no, not good cards. No.
Okay, what?
I ran Sky Shroud Watcher. It was a 1 in a green for a 2/1.
They could untap a land?
Tap, untap target creature.
Seeker Skybreak.
That's what it was.
Seeker of Skybreak. You ran white bordered 7th edition ones.
Yes. So I could untap my Well-wisher.
Yeah. And it would just...
Keep in mind, no game plan other than untap my Well-wisher.
No.
And then play insects.
No, and then eventually we went to the Morningtide pre-release, and you saw Heritage Druid, and then you ended up figuring out win conditions.
Yes.
Because that card is broken.
Yes. It was really...
No, I love that elf deck.
There was...
I love that elf deck.
At the end of its lifespan, I don't have it anymore. I tore down the deck. It was blue-green.
Yeah.
Because I could run Master Biomancer.
That's in my guesses.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was my, stretch guess.
Yeah, I was thinking about adding him, but I was like...
I just know how much you loved that card.
It's so fun.
I just know how much you loved that card.
Alright, your number 4?
Is my favorite Magic card of all time.
Really?
I have about 13 copies of it in multiple different languages. I have proxy prints of it. I have a pop of him. He's my favorite character.
Garrick?
Yeah. Garrick Wildspeaker, the original, the OG. And this is why I said we had to use original prints. The Lorwyn 5 will never be mythic to me. They're rares.
That's true.
They're really good. Garrick is good. Baby Jace is a fantastic Magic card.
He was on my guest list for you, actually, Baby Jace.
Oh god, he was so close. He ended up probably in the top 20. Those 5 cards were such a good shot at Planeswalkers and what we know them as now.
Except Chandra.
Chandra was the worst.
Unless you got her all the way up.
Yeah.
Then she felt
Chandra was the worst. And then I would
she was in Tamanoa.
Then I would say Lily, then a Johnny, then Garrick and Jace.
I would put... no, I put Lily on a 1 higher.
Johnny saw fucking play. They all saw play, even Chandra. They all saw play in Standard.
Yeah.
Johnny was the first one out of the gate.
Because he could put counters on things.
And I remember that I traded, at the pre-release, I traded my Ajani for 2 Garricks.
Really?
I pulled an Ajani in my pool. We got shit on. I wasn't really playing, because we wanted to play in the tribal... theme deck
event.
Theme deck side event. So we opened all our stuff, played a round or something. We were like, whatever. And I had an Ajani, and this kid was walking around. He was one of those sharky traders, trying to take advantage of people who don't know what they do. If you are that person, you. Also, taking advantage of kids at card stores who don't know what they're doing, you really need to evaluate your life. But I traded my Johnny, and he had 2 Garricks. It was the first day of the pre-release. I was like, where'd you get these? I was Garrick was my absolute favorite. Because I was and if people don't understand, if look at the mana cost and that first ability, he is a 2-mana planeswalker.
He's never
better
played
than
with
Tibble.
him. I've never played.
He's better than Tibble. There's
Scornful Egotist is better than fucking Tibble.
You're not wrong. There are 3
Dude,
2-mana
playing
planeswalkers.
Phage as your commander is better than Tibble.
Well, yeah, because you're playing mono black and that's good.
No, casting her as your commander.
Yeah, I'd rather.
And immediately losing.
Yeah, I'd rather kill myself. But to stay on Garrick,
Tibble is such a bad... No. Tibble is such a bad card. I actually made a proxy by cutting off Tibble out of his card and putting him on a lightning bolt and making the lightning bolt less valuable.
Yeah.
Because it's a Tib bolt.
get it?
A lightning
Bolt.
Tib bolt. Never mind. It was a bad joke. But no, but I actually did do that. I do have that proxy.
Yeah, Griffin, insert meme right there. Yeah.
I've never actually played or owned one.
Oh my god.
I really want one.
I probably have 13.
Him and
in 3 or 4 different languages. Like the thing that I want 4 Japanese foils. Not Russians. There's certain things I want Russians of. I want 4 Japanese foil Garricks. I love that card so much. And Alexei Briklot, I think that's how you say his name. His
Alexei
art.
Brisket?
Yeah, his art for the original Lorwyn 5, the full art that you can see. Amazing, hardly been outdone by other Planeswalker art.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
The only one who actually he did didn't he do Sark and the Mad?
I think he did.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I think he did. It was either him or one of the guys with the one name. I think it might be Chippy or
Darkin.
Darkin
did that one.
Darkin did that one. I know you love Darkin.
Yeah, I do. I think Alexei did Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus, though.
Yes. Yes, I believe he did.
Or
if
she.
we're
I don't
wrong,
know if it's a he or she.
if we're wrong, just put it on our faces. That we're
I don't know if it's a he or a she.
Who?
Alexei.
It's a he.
It is a he.
It's a he.
Okay.
Yeah, he's come to GPs, but he mainly stays in Europe.
Okay.
Because that's where he lives, as
Like
far as I
Diane?
understand. I've seen him in
Like Mr.
California.
Avon?
Yeah, I've seen him in California and in Europe. Yeah. So, Joe, why don't you tell us about number 3?
That was your number 3?
No, that was 4. That was my 4. Did you do 4?
I did 4.
Okay.
So you should do 3.
So I'll do 3. You already mentioned this card.
Really?
You did in one of your guesses for me. It's Teneb the Harvester.
I was gonna put it on. I was like, I know it was like we all had our pet dragons.
We all had our pet dragons.
But I didn't think yours was strong enough to make it on.
You had Oros. I had Teneb. Ethan had Varash.
No, he had Intent.
He did love Intent more, but he did play with Varash.
He played with okay, but he also pulled like
he pulled about 40 Varash the Hunters.
No. Every other pack he pulled of Planar Chaos had an Oros in it. I shit you not. He had so many copies of Oros, he was using them as bookmarks and as like scratch paper.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah. No.
He kept pulling them like, I got one.
Yeah. But for me, the reason I love Teneb so much is he's a reanimator, which I always loved. But really, it's like when I came back to Magic.
Yeah.
For the first time. I played from 99 until 8th edition came out, and I rage quit because I hated... No, it was 8th edition. I hated the card frame.
Really?
I hated the card frame. I was like, I don't want to play with these cards. This looks like trash. And I quit.
And then... It was a white border.
It's also... The white border didn't help its case.
No, it did not.
And then we started hanging out, and I came back, and the first product that I bought was a Planar Chaos theme deck with Teneb in it. And I fell back in love with this game. And I was like, every time I leave, I come back, and I love this. And I've jammed him into modern decks. I have jammed...
Wait, really?
I jammed him into my Abzan deck.
Wow.
I jammed a single copy of Teneb into my Friday Night Modern deck. Same with Wingmate Rock.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that time it didn't win. The Wingmate Rock version won. I've jammed him in EDH decks. I've had him as a commander. First commander set, you and I traded dragons.
Because I liked the black, white, green deck, but
you didn't.
Yeah,
you liked
I
it
liked
second.
Gave.
You liked Gave, but you told me when I bought the Kalia deck. I bought the Kalia deck and you were like, fuck you.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Because Kalia was literally the best of them, and that's the best commander set they've put out. I'm sorry, it just is.
Number 3 for me.
Yeah.
You actually know what it is.
Okay, did I guess it?
No, I told you.
Okay.
Dawn Charm.
Yeah, solid.
95-cent card, actually.
Yeah, no, it went up.
It
sees like rogue sideboard play.
In what?
Modern. Yeah.
So Dawn Charm.
Because it has 3, like...
It is a modal card.
Fairly good
It's a fog.
modes.
It's a fog.
It's a 2-mana fog.
It's a regenerate a creature?
Yeah.
I think. It's either regenerate a creature... No, it's not reanimate. It's definitely regenerate.
No, it's regenerate a creature. It's fog.
Also, counter target spell that targets you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Is that it's a fucking white counter spell.
So here's the thing about it. I loved Dawn Charm because I sucked at not dying.
Yeah.
And so I would always have 4 Dawn Charms in any white deck I ran.
Which was most of your decks.
Because all I knew how to play was white, because all I had was plains, because no one would give me island.
That's true.
I literally could not play... I'm not shitting you. I didn't play blue decks for the first year of me playing Magic because I didn't have any islands until I went to a pre-release.
Yeah, until we went to the Future Sight pre-release, and I remember you went up to...
I literally took a box of lands because I had none.
Yeah, no, we were savages.
No, but also...
I'm sorry, Wizards, we took so many basics.
But honestly, it's really hard to... Back then it was hard to get lands.
Yeah, no, it was not easy to get your hands on things like land stations that they just print ad nauseum now in every fat pack.
Yes.
Because fat packs weren't even that easy to get your hands
They
on.
weren't. They were just starting to make them.
Yeah.
The first one was Time Spiral Fat Pack, I think.
I think they were called something else.
Because it was a book. It had a book in it.
I'm pretty sure they had them.
Or something.
They had some other weird name for it, but yeah.
So I had Dawn Charms, and sometimes I would forget that, it had other modes other than fog.
Yeah, it was 90% of the time the fog.
But then the 10% of the time when I was like, oh, I can counter something with this.
Yeah, like if I targeted you with a blaze.
It made me feel good. I was like, I can counter this.
Yeah.
Feels good. Alright.
That's number 2.
Number Dos Equis. This card is an uncommon.
Okay. A lot of our cards are uncommons.
Commanding a $2.15 price tag.
That's solid. That's solid right there.
Can you take a guess at what it is? If you do not know what this card is...
I'd need a...
You already missed my number 1.
I know, I missed your number 1, which is really sad.
It's a 4-drop.
It's a 4-drop, because my guess was a 2-drop.
I have no idea what you're thinking. But mine... It's a bad card.
Wait, I thought that was number 1.
No. Oh, no.
I thought that was our Springjack Shepherd.
It's fucking Springjack Shepherd, sir.
Wait, Springjack is number 2, so that means I don't know what number 1 is.
I guess not.
I guess not. Fuck me.
Well, maybe you did get it right then.
I might have gotten it right.
So.
Well, no, it can't be because my guess was Dega Sanctuary.
No.
And we already went over that. But either way, Springjack fucking Shepherd.
Springjack Shepherd.
Chroma.
The
best version of Devotion. Whatever you say, Morrow, I'm not with you, dog.
Back before these little modern shits were like, I'm gonna make a modern goat deck. Because it's actually a thing.
I know. I saw it on Wedge's channel and I sent it to you.
So I had a goat deck back in Mirrodin Besieged. I had Battle Cry in the deck for fuck's sake. With Catheters Crusade.
I'm done with you.
Catheters Crusade, or Catheters Crusade, however you really are supposed to say. It's really Catheters because medical.
Cathar, really.
Cathers, whatever.
Cathar.
Fuck you. Basically, you play a bunch of Soul Wardens and Soul Sisters, and then you play, Journey to Norway.
Yeah.
Or Nowhere, if you like English. Oblivion Ring. A bunch of enchantments to just stop them, and then you play Springjack Shepherd, and you get 13 triggers of Catheters Crusade.
So you get something like 12, 13 goats?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a really big Soul Wardens and really...
it goes off on a level that you just look at. If you allowed that deck to get there...
it got there. It got there hard.
It got there so hard, and you'd never get from under it.
Yeah, it was really funny, because in multiplayer games, in filthy casual multiplayer games with 6 people... no one would pay attention to me, because especially if they didn't know what the deck did.
Absolutely.
They'd be like, are you gonna do fucking anything? I'm like...
because most of his decks just sat there and pillow forted.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They were just pillow forts, so people would be like, I'll deal with him later, like, I got other stuff to do, this kid's attacking me, this one's burning me, this one's milling me, I'm not gonna deal with him, and then you lose 2 or 3 people at the table,
and then it's just
then Joe goes off, and he wins, and you're like, where did my life turn wrong? What happened?
My favorite moment, one of my favorite moments in Magic has to be, I was sitting in Chance Ferris's house, or Charlie Ferris's house, and it was a 7-player game. 7-player game.
Yeah.
No one at the table knew what my deck did.
Who or what you were.
No, they knew who I was, they didn't know what my deck did. And everyone was ignoring me the entire game. And it was right about to reach this huge climax of everyone beating the crap out of each other. And I had Cather's Crusade out, and I already had Goats out. Or I just played Cather's Crusade, and I had Goats out already.
Nope.
And I played another one, or I blinked it or something, and I killed everyone at the table. And everyone looked at me like, did I just die to Goats?
Yeah. You just died to 0/1 goat tokens covered in fucking glass bead counters.
Oh, so delicious.
Yeah.
Alright, and that is my number 2.
Are you ready? Because this is the shocker of the list. I don't think he remembers this card, but I certainly do. Again, theming my list, the art on this card is amazing.
So...
It's a common.
I know what it is, because I saw you look it up on your phone just now.
Because I wanted to make sure I knew the artist's name, but I couldn't see it.
And I was going to put it on... I really was going to put it on my list. But I was like, nah, the Wraith is
The Wraith is more... you would think the Wraith is more important, but this is more important.
I remember the first creature you ever played against me wasn't the Wraith, it was...
Fog of Gnats. Black for a 1/1 flyer, tap a swamp, regenerate it.
So simple, but so elegant.
So elegant, and oh my god, I can't tell you how many games I won with that card. And I love it.
Generates a fucking boss.
Yeah, that's why they took it off the Evergreen list. And it's also rules complicated.
They made it indestructible now.
Yeah, they made it indestructible, which, whatever.
Time to turn. I don't like it.
You know, I'd rather have a generate. But that's just the old head in me.
I liked Regenerate too. It sounded better.
Yeah, it does. It has a fantasy sound to it, not like Indestructible. Indestructible sounds like robots to me, and that's...
Indestructible took Regenerate. Like, green Regenerate was always like Wolverine regeneration.
Yeah. And
black regeneration was always like reassembling yourself.
Yeah. So like reassembling skeleton.
When they removed Regenerate, I was like, so Wolverine's just now temporarily indestructible. That's not what he does.
No, it's like,
I know that's
it's like in I don't remember if it's X2 or X3 where the metal mutant covers Wolverine and like in his metal, like very briefly. I might be losing my mind. Either way, I love Fog of Gnats. I love cards that are simple and elegantly designed. It's one of those cards that you just look at, you get on first viewing. It costs 2 black mana. It's a 1/1. It flies, and it's really hard to fucking kill.
And it's very flavorful.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many.
There's so many gnats, you can get rid of this swarm of them, but another one's just going to come back and eat you in the face. And again, the art on it, absolutely.
And it's small.
Beautiful.
It's a small creature, so it's not like it's...
To me, it was always a better Drudge Skeleton.
It was.
It's a better Drudge Skeleton, and because I like Drudge Skeleton. It's a cool card. Like when you start playing and you see a Drudge Skeleton, you're like, they can't kill it. I'm always going to have a black mana up. Mm-hmm. And then I saw Fog of Gnats, and I was like, this is way cooler.
It did have flying.
It does, and I love flying. So, I'll do my number 1 first. If you didn't guess this, you are a pledge.
Is it Siege Gang Commander?
It is Siege Gang Commander. It is Siege Gang Commander. I have only... Nailed it.
First one on the list.
I have only ever owned 4 copies of this card.
Because they're the 4 best copies of
the original copies that I got out of Scourge packs.
Oh!
Never bought one, just pulled them in packs. I got to meet Chris Muller last year, and he signed them. And I told him they are beat up. They got played on asphalt. No sleeves. Come at me.
Bat on the bottom floor of
a cafeteria.
Of the school cafeteria.
Sticky AF.
Back right before they destroyed it because it was too nasty.
Yeah.
They destroyed the building because it was too nasty.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Those cards mean so much to me. Goblins are my favorite creature type. Mono red is my favorite kind of deck to run. I love being aggressive. I love getting on the ground. And Siege Gang was my top end. Mm-hmm. It usually ended with a Click Slither.
Yep.
But if I didn't draw the Click Slither, I was going to get there by punch, sack the board.
Yes, because it's...
And just blow the board up and shock you in the face till you're dead. And when I showed Chris Muller the cards, like, you see all these guys that are like, you know, super spiky, like, have pimped out versions, and not that I don't, but like, pimped out versions, foils, mint fucking condition. I take pride, and I took the same pride when I met Chris Rush in my lightning bolts. My revised lightning bolts are beat to shit because they got used. And that's what Chris Muller said to me. He said this, and Chris Rush actually said the same thing, which is odd that they're both the lightning bolt artists. Mm-hmm. But they were like, Magic cards are meant to be played. This is what Magic cards should look like. And I tend to agree, except when I spent a lot of money on them.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, stuff from my childhood, I'm not mad that it's beat up.
Yeah.
But, like, stuff that, like, my modern decks are pristine.
Yeah.
But, like, I take pride in my Siege Gang commanders being beat up, and now they're signed. And they are beyond worthless to anyone else. TCG mid on them is like $1.65.
And they're probably, you'll have to pay someone to buy them.
I would have to pay someone to buy them off me, because they're covered in Sharpie, and they, oh my god, the backside is nearly unreadable on one of them.
But they've been loved.
Yeah, they've been well loved, and it's not my favorite card, but it's, to me, my pet card. It's like what made me the Magic player that I am today. Because again, like a lot of stuff on this list, I saw Siege Gang Commander, I was like, whoa. I pay 5 mana, I get 4 dudes, and I can throw those dudes at other dudes. Win. This is called value. It's called value.
Alright.
So what is it? If it's on my list at all, we know it's not my number one, but if it's on this list, I'll be proud of myself.
What do you think it is?
I think it's Bitter Ordeal.
That almost got on my list. Ben, do you know what's better?
Is it Tide Hollow Sculler?
Oh, no, it's not a creature.
Not a creature, fuck me.
Do you know what is a better feeling than salting your opponents? Because I don't. And you know why? You know why it makes me so happy?
Why is that? What is
we
it?
were at F&M.
We were at F&M.
We were at F&M in the city.
Okay.
We were at Caps.
Yep.
And I was playing Bad Affinity.
Oh, God.
And I was not doing so well. But I ended up playing against someone who was playing Jund. And they played Abrupt Decay. I'm crying.
I know what he did.
I'm crying because of how happy this moment made me.
That wasn't in the city.
It was at Red Caps.
Are you sure?
I'm dead positive. Because he was playing Jund.
So I'm pretty sure Doyle
And
was
he
there.
rage quit. He came with us. He was there that day.
Okay.
Because the girl was playing Merfolk.
Yeah, you're right.
So, he plays Abrupt Decay, and he's going to use it against my, I had something out that was valuable. Because I was playing...
Ravager?
No, not good value. Like, bad value. I think I had, like, a Ensouled Artifact.
Yeah, I was about to say
an Ensouled Artifact something. Yeah, probably a Thopter.
You're probably an Ensoul Thopter.
Or no, it was it had a cranial plating. That's what it was. It had a cranial plating.
Yeah.
And so the guy has a Liliana the Veil out, and he casts Abrupt Decay. And I say, hold on. I respond. I tap 1 and black, and I cast Imps Mischief. targeting the Abrupt Decay. And the guy says, you can't counter it. It's uncounterable. I'm like, who said I was countering it? You got a nice lily there, don't you?
And he blew up the Liliana of the Veil with the dude's own Abrupt Decay and lost 2 life.
Made me so happy.
I can't believe I missed Imps Mischief.
I love that card more than I thought I could ever love a piece of cardboard.
Planar Chaos.
Because
back at it again.
Being able to change the target of a spell that targets you
is usually a shit ability.
It's usually a shit ability because it's always in red and blue.
Yeah.
But when you put it in black,
it actually has some
it actually matters. You wanna know why? Because fuck that guy. I
nailed him.
I think I put it in almost every sideboard.
You still do.
I love
it. Just recently came out, not too long ago, out of the Waste Not sideboard.
It did just come out.
But you have altered copies. Our friend Hayden did. Shouts out to Hayden.
Yeah, I have No One Expects the Spanish Inquisition. That bit. I have the Spanish Inquisitors on the bottom of the board, on the bottom of the card.
Yeah, like
it says No One Expects Imps Mischief.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's really fucking great.
I am in love with that card for the rest of my life. What did you think was on my list?
Okay, so I'm gonna go through my 10 guesses from 10 to 1. Pretty quickly. We don't need to discuss it.
Mine wasn't in any order, but go ahead.
This was not on your list anywhere. Sign in Blood.
Ooh, yeah.
You love Sign in Blood.
I do love Sign in Blood.
Oros, the Avenger.
Yeah, he was.
That was somewhere.
He was on my secondary, third.
I got Waste Not.
Yes, you did.
I had Master Biomancer. I told you about that.
Well, I didn't put Master Biomancer or anyone on my list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I missed that, but I mentioned it earlier.
Right.
Lynn Civvy, Defiant Hero.
Oh, yeah. She's cute.
You didn't mention the Rebel deck.
I did have a Rebel.
You didn't mention
I was thinking about Blight Speaker. I was going to put Blight Speaker
Blight Speaker would have been a good one. Yeah. I got Well Wisher, and I was 1 spot off.
Okay.
Tide Hollow Sculler did not make the list. I was shocked. Tamanoa, I got.
Yeah.
Bitter Ordeal, another one I'm shocked did not make it. I completely thought it was going to be Vegas Sanctuary, regardless of everything else on this list. I'm like, I think I got 1, 2, 3, kind of 4.
No, it wasn't even on my list. Short list.
Okay, so I got Dawn Charge 4.
I got
like 3, maybe 4, depending on how you call it.
You still won. Because I got Siege Gang Commander.
Yeah, you got number one.
Number 1, pick one. Sleeper Agent.
Yeah, that's a good choice, but not correct.
Lightning Bolt, because I thought you knew value.
I do know value. I was just trying to put things that weren't inherently, like, amazing.
Which is why I wasn't sure who was going to go on the list. Dark Ritual.
Same fucking thing. That's the same cycle. It's the boons. You pick number 2 and number 3 in the boons.
Groundbreaker.
Okay, why did Groundbreaker not make the list? Groundbreaker didn't make the list because he was... You know, it's one of those cards.
It wasn't groundbreaking enough?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's only his name. Goblin King.
Goblin King...
We already had the Goblin on there.
Siege Gang took his place. I love Goblin King, but Siege Gang.
Because I knew I wasn't going to get, like, all of these, so I just picked, like, a couple from an area.
Yeah.
Slippery Bogle.
Slippery Bogle, classic. Still play Bogles in Modern.
Lightning Storm.
I play ad nauseum. It's my favorite deck. Good choice, not right.
Coiling Oracle.
Not wrong. I do jam that in all my EDH decks that I can.
And Tombstalker.
I do love Tombstalker. That was when I saw that another one that could have been on this list because when I saw Delve for the first time in Future Sight, I saw it at the Future Sight pre-release. I opened a Tombstalker and I was like, "What? Mm-hmm. That's so cool."
And then I had Thalia 1.0, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
Dirtwater,
you
Rape
mentioned.
Bro, and Cliff Slither and shit.
Yeah.
So I got 1.5.
1.5.
I got Siege Gang. I think I'm okay with that.
Getting the top spot the top spot.
I got the top spot in the top spot.
You nailed it.
And Teneb I had on my honorable mention list.
Yeah. Yeah, you got there.
I had 6 creatures, 2 instants, 2 enchantments, and one of my creatures was an artifact.
I had 7 creatures, 2 instants, and a planeswalker.
My converted mana cost was about 3.2.
I did not check that. Mine is high.
My app did that for me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I look. I have a 5-drop, a 2-drop, a 6-drop, a 4-drop, an 8-drop, a 6, a 4, a 4, a 1, and a 5. Like, I have a very high converted mana cost.
2, 4, 2, 2, 5, 3, 2, 3, 3, 6.
Yeah. Well,
Highest cost was almost 7. Lowest was 20 cents.
We're running pretty long, comparative to what we thought we'd be running.
Mm-hmm.
So
I told you this was going to take a while.
You told me it was going to take a while, but we got there, fam. I really hope everybody out there enjoyed this, getting to know us a little bit better as Magic players. We will be back next week with another episode. We will think of something really cool to do. We hope you all enjoy this. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of nonsense. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you very much. Also, don't be embarrassed. Be a Timmy.
For life.